The downfall of Bruce Grobbelaar began in November 1994 when the Sun newspaper published explosive allegations that would destroy his reputation forever. The paper accused the Liverpool goalkeeper of taking bribes to fix football matches, claiming they had secret recordings of him discussing corruption with a Malaysian businessman named Heng Suan Lim. These recordings were obtained through Chris Vincent, a former business associate who had secretly taped meetings between himself, Grobbelaar, and the businessman. When confronted at Heathrow Airport by newspaper reporters, Grobbelaar's responses were described by judges as manifestly untruthful and consistent only with guilt. His defence was extraordinary. He claimed he was running his own sting operation to expose a betting syndicate, a story he later called his Inspector Clouseau defence. But before this scandal erupted, Bruce Grobbelaar was one of football's most celebrated goalkeepers. Born in South Africa, he became a legend at Liverpool Football Club during the 1980s and early 1990s. His unique style and incredible reflexes made him stand out from other keepers of his era. Grobbelaar was known for his theatrical saves and his ability to perform under pressure in the biggest matches. What made him truly special was his fearless approach to goalkeeping and his willingness to take risks that other keepers wouldn't dare attempt. At Liverpool, Grobbelaar achieved remarkable success that cemented his place in football history. He was part of the team that dominated English football for over a decade, becoming an integral part of one of the most successful eras in the club's history. His trophy cabinet was filled with league titles, European Cups and FA Cups. Liverpool fans adored him for his commitment and passion on the pitch, often singing his name from the terraces. He was particularly famous for his penalty shootout antics, using psychological tactics to put opposing players off their game. His wobbly legs routine during penalty shootouts became legendary among supporters. Grobbelaar's goalkeeping technique was unconventional but highly effective, setting him apart from his contemporaries. He would often rush out of his penalty area to clear danger, something that was relatively rare for keepers at that time, but showcased his reading of the game. His distribution was excellent, and he could launch counter-attacks with his powerful throws and kicks that could reach halfway line. Fellow players respected his leadership qualities and his ability to organise the defence in front of him, making him a true captain on the field even when he wasn't wearing the armband. The goalkeeper's personality was as colourful as his playing style, making him a beloved figure both on and off the pitch. He was known for his infectious sense of humour and his willingness to entertain both teammates and fans with his jokes and antics. Stories of his practical jokes and funny moments became part of Liverpool folklore, passed down through generations of supporters. Despite being a foreign player in an era when they were less common in English football, Grobbelaar quickly became a fan favourite at Anfield. His ability to connect with the local culture and supporters was remarkable, showing his genuine love for the club and city. His international career was also distinguished and brought pride to his adopted nation. Grobbelaar represented Zimbabwe with great honour, earning numerous caps and helping put the country on the football map during a time when African football was gaining global recognition. His performances in international tournaments showcased his talents to a worldwide audience and cemented his reputation as one of the world's top goalkeepers. He became a hero in Zimbabwe, inspiring young footballers across the country to pursue their dreams. The goalkeeper's style wasn't just about technical ability, it was about personality and character. He would communicate constantly with his defenders, shouting instructions and encouragement throughout matches. His presence in goal gave the entire Liverpool team confidence, knowing they had someone completely reliable behind them. Opposition strikers often found him intimidating, not just because of his skill, but because of his commanding presence and psychological games. When the match-fixing allegations emerged, they sent shockwaves through the football world. The Sun claimed to have evidence of Grobbelaar discussing corruption with Chris Vincent, a former business associate, and Heng Suan Lim, a Malaysian businessman. The newspaper published banner headlines declaring that Grobbelaar took bribes to fix games and had deliberately let in goals in the past. The criminal proceedings that followed were dubbed football's trial of the century, attracting massive media attention. Grobbelaar, along with fellow footballers John Fashanu and Hans Segers, was charged with conspiracy to corrupt. However, criminal law requires proof beyond reasonable doubt, a much higher standard than civil cases, which would prove crucial in the different outcomes. The first trial saw the jury unable to reach a verdict, creating uncertainty about the outcome. During the second trial, a new jury acquitted Grobbelaar on one charge, but they also couldn't agree on the second charge. Eventually, the prosecution offered offered no further evidence, leading to his complete acquittal and discharge from the court. Despite this legal victory, Grobbelaar's reputation remained damaged. His vigilante defense, while creating enough doubt to prevent criminal conviction, was viewed with deep suspicion. Many people struggled to believe that he was genuinely trying to expose corruption rather than participating in it. Determined to clear his name, Grobbelaar launched a civil action against the Sun in 1995. Civil cases operate on the balance of probabilities, a lower standard of proof than criminal trials. The parties agreed that the defamatory articles contained two main allegations: that Grobbelaar had taken bribes and actually fixed matches in the past, and that he had accepted bribes to fix future games. At the High Court trial in July 1999, Grobbelaar completely denied all corruption allegations. His legal team presented expert video evidence from 5 games cited by the newspaper, with football analysts testifying that the footage showed no deliberate errors on his part. This evidence proved crucial to his case. The jury delivered a stunning verdict in Grobbelaar's favour, awarding him £85,000 in damages. The judge had instructed them to consider a nominal sum if they believed Grobbelaar had entered corrupt agreements but hadn't actually fixed matches. However, the substantial award suggested the jury had accepted his explanation completely and rejected the Sun's claims entirely. This victory was short-lived. The Sun appealed the verdict, arguing it was perverse and unreasonable. This was an aggressive legal strategy, as jury verdicts are normally considered almost sacred in English law. A verdict can only be overturned if no reasonable jury could have reached that conclusion. In January 2001, the Court of Appeal delivered a devastating judgment. For the first time in legal history, a libel verdict was quashed on appeal. The judges described the jury's decision as an affront to justice and a miscarriage of justice. They found Grobbelaar's vigilante defence simply incredible and stretching credibility beyond breaking point. The court overturned the verdict, leaving Grobbelaar with no damages and facing legal costs of around £1.5 million. Grobbelaar's legal team made one final appeal to the House of Lords. They introduced a clever argument about the sting of the libel, the most serious allegation within defamatory statements. They argued that the core sting wasn't the bribery allegations, but the more serious charge of actually fixing matches. Since the Sun had failed to prove actual match fixing, especially given the expert video evidence, the jury was entitled to find in Grobbelaar's favour. In October 2002, the House of Lords accepted this argument and restored the original jury verdict. However, their judgment was devastating in other ways. While they found Grobbelaar technically entitled to win on liability, they were unanimous in condemning his conduct. The Lords stated he had acted in a way no decent or honest footballer would act, calling his behaviour a flagrant breach of legal and moral obligations. Most crucially, the House of Lords determined that Grobbelaar's proven corrupt dealings had destroyed the value of his reputation. They ruled that awarding substantial damages to someone who had engaged in such behaviour would be an affront to justice. Instead of the £85,000, they awarded him just £1 in nominal damages. The financial consequences were catastrophic. In November 2002, Grobbelaar was ordered to pay 2/3 of the Sun's legal costs, estimated at over £1 million. Combined with his own legal bills of around £500,000, the total debt was overwhelming. Unable to pay, Grobbelaar was declared bankrupt. The case established important legal principles about reputation and damages in libel law. It demonstrated that even if someone proves they've been defamed, the compensation reflects the actual value of their damaged reputation. The Lords determined that Grobbelaar's own corrupt actions had rendered his reputation almost worthless. This landmark case highlighted the complex relationship between criminal and civil law. While Grobbelaar was acquitted of criminal charges due to the higher standard of proof required, the civil courts found his conduct had severely compromised his character and reputation. The saga also raised important questions about jury decision-making in complex cases involving public figures. The contradictory verdicts from different juries showed how difficult it can be for ordinary people to navigate complicated legal and factual issues, especially when dealing with celebrity defendants. The appellate court's intervention demonstrated their power to correct what they saw as fundamentally flawed jury decisions, even when it meant overturning the traditional role of juries in English law. This created ongoing debates about whether complex defamation cases should continue to be decided by juries or handled differently by the legal system. The broader impact on investigative journalism was also significant and complex. While the courts rejected the Sun's attempt to claim qualified privilege for responsible journalism, the final outcome could be seen as a victory for aggressive reporting. The case showed that even if newspapers cannot prove every detail of their allegations, they might still succeed if the underlying claims about someone's character prove to be accurate. This created difficult questions about the balance between press freedom and individual privacy rights. Despite the legal and financial devastation that followed, Grobbelaar's football legacy remains intact among many fans who separate his sporting achievements from his personal troubles. His achievements on the pitch, his unique goalkeeping style, and his contribution to Liverpool's golden era cannot be erased by off-field controversies that occurred after his playing peak. The case serves as a powerful cautionary tale about how personal actions and poor judgment can destroy even the most successful careers and hard-earned reputations. Today, Bruce Grobbelaar's story stands as one of football's most complex narratives. While his reputation was permanently damaged by the corruption allegations and legal battles, his sporting achievements continue to be remembered and celebrated by those who witnessed his remarkable goalkeeping career at its peak.